guys, how you guys doing? My name is RAFAEL. I'm going to give you guys a quick tutorial on how to do a compression test on this Chinese bike here. So the reason we do compression is basically to see like if our rings are sealed and everything like that, and that it holds compression to a certain amount of PSI in order for the ignition to fire when we hit the compression stroke and our fuel and air mixture ignites. So the first thing you want to do, you want to find your spark plug. It's right here. Take off your spark plug boot. Get yourself the right proper socket, which this one is a 5/8. So you come in here, get it on there nice and snug, and let's take it off. There it is, like that. We need to get a new spark plug on that. It's pretty dirty. So basically right there's your spark plug hole. There it is. And then on the compression tube, we want to make sure this is grounded. Correct? Mm-hmm. Then we will get our compression tool right here. So we decided to go through Snap-on to get these. This is really good. Like Mac, Mako, and all these other fine tools have them, but you know, you pay what you get. So here's our compression reader. You got one on there?
Yeah, right there.
We got this right here. This end right here just sticks into your, you just screw it into the spark plug socket like so. Get this thing started. Oh, is that the right one?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's really tight.
After this, you very tight. Are you going in at an angle?
Next, you want to make sure this is clean too. That way you don't get no fouls down there and everything like that. There we go. Should make sure that's nice and snug and everything like that. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna hook up this end, get up to there, and we'll have our reader right here. So next, we're just gonna crank this over and see where we can get. And usually, a good compression stroke, a good compression on a 2-stroke is anywhere from 100 to 150. And then for a 4-stroke, it's anywhere from 130 to 155. Is usually what you want to shoot for. And hold on to that. Super sketch, guys. Let's probably just lower this down. It's really sketch. Whew. So all you want to do, you want to have 2 people on here. You have someone kick it over and someone to hold that and read that. Go.
Keep kicking.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Keep going.
So guys, when you do compression, come in here, we'll get this done. So when you do compression tests, you want to have wide open throttle. You just want to kick it. As you can see right here, it's building up. We're about 80 psi, 80-90 psi, which is okay. It's pretty decent. So that's it. Pause that.
So you have to just switch real quick. It's still rolling.
Oh, it is.
Alright guys, so that's compression. My name's Jeremy. Now we're going to go over Leakdown. The point of Leakdown is to make sure there's no leakage in the valves, valve seats, piston rings, or just anywhere to make sure all the air and everything's staying inside. So today I'm going to show you how we do that. So first we need to take this back apart, and we still need to use the same hose with the Leakdown tester. Pull before we do a leak down test, we got to make sure we take the strainer valve out of the hose so air can flow both ways. So to do that, you just take the valve stem out, or the strainer valve. Like so, looks just about like that. Set that aside and save that for later. Now we can screw this back in. There we go. Alright, so once we get this screwed back in, make sure it's nice and snug on there. Then we grab our compression gauge. What I'm using today is by Snap-on. And to use this test, first we need to hook up air to this side, and then once we're ready to go, we'll hook this up to the bike. So first, we're going to connect our air, and then we got to go on the other side to make sure the bike's at top dead center. So we'll come over here, we'll look at the flywheel, make sure everything's set up, and you can kind of feel where it gets tough at for top dead center. So you kind of set it there, and this is the part where we need two people. One to hold this with a breaker bar so it doesn't spin when we force air into there to make sure everything holds nice and tight, and the other person to connect it and watch the gauge. So we'll do that right now. And usually on these tests we want to test 3-4 times just to make sure we get accurate readings and the same readings all across the board. So when we hook this up, these gauges are going to go all crazy, but before you start you want to make sure that this one's at 100 and this one finishes in between 0 and 10. That's good compression. Alright, so let's hook it up and let's see what we get. So we can set this by turning this knob, making sure it's at 100. Pop the cap so it locks it, and then now we need to make sure we're at top dead center. Oh, looking pretty good.
The way you can tell by top dead center too is there's a mark usually on this. Fuck you.
But usually there's a mark on the flywheel that lets you know where top dead center is. And another way you'll know is the gauge will move in all these different crazy ways. The closer we get top dead center, the closer we'll get to there. Once we know we're at top dead center, and if it stays there, we know it's good. If it goes anywhere in between there, we know we either have a leakage in the valves, seats, the exhaust, or the piston rings just aren't holding what they should be holding, and then you got to rebuild the engine by fixing the piston rings. So that's how we do leak down, that's how we do compression. And now that we know our bike is good, we're ready to get back on the road and get riding. Ride safe.
Listen to this track, bitch.
Girl, the way you moving, you got me in a trance. DJ turn me up, ladies, this your jam. I'ma sip my Moscato, you gon' leave them fast. And I'ma throw this money while you do it with no